So I have been back from World's Strongest Man and Vegas for a week now. I have got so much content from World's Strongest Man and Vegas. I started trying to put it together yesterday and it was just taking me forever. So there'll be a little bit of a delay on that, but hopefully we'll get something up soon. Probably going to be at least 2 vlogs. One that is World's Strongest Man focused, and obviously I have got a lot of content of people competing, but I can only put short little clips on, so I've got to try and work out which ones are the best to put in, stuff like that. So it'll take me a little bit of time, but hopefully we'll get that done next week sometime. But I just sort of thought I'd talk about where I'm at and what I'm doing. In all honesty, I have been completely off the rails for the last few months. I've been sort of training since my lat tear. I've been kind of training, but not really been that focused on what I'm doing. It's been a little bit hard to train. I've been having a lot of knee issues as well, which has been really holding me back from doing what I would normally do. And rather than sort of adapting like I normally would, I've been down in the dumps a little bit. So I've sort of just been going through the motions, but I've been back for a week now. When I landed back from America, I was 160 kilos, which is the heaviest I've been in a number of years. Well, admittedly, there was quite a lot of water retention from the flight. I suffer really bad with that. Always have done. Even when I was super lean, I went out to World's Strongest Man, worked on it in 2022, literally a month after bodybuilding show, so I was still like pretty shredded. I still had massive swollen ankles and feet. It's something that I've suffered with like pretty much my whole life, so I always used to think it was due to being like high body fat percentage, but even when I'm shredded it's the same. So it's just one of them things I have to deal with. So anyway, flew back from America. Body weight was 160. I have been on diet since then. Been very strict with everything. I will go in the gym and train now. I'm on my 5th session since I've been back. I'm doing a push-pull lower split, but they're push-pull lower 1 and then push-pull lower 2. So there's like 2 versions of it. And basically what I do is I just rest when I have to in terms of body recovery, but also if I'm away, then I just literally miss that day and pick it up the next day. That's the way I like to train. So I don't base my training necessarily on a 7-day split. I do 6 sessions, and if it takes me 8 days to do it, 7 days to do it, 10 days to do it, it doesn't matter, and I just keep rolling through the sessions. That's the way I like to sort of do my training. So yeah, I'm on my 5th session, so it's the 2nd pull session. I'm going to get a little bit of footage in a minute, and then when I get back, I'm going to sort of talk you through my diet, what I'm doing, why I'm doing things the way I'm doing. I will go into a little bit of detail about supplements and things like that. Obviously, some things I won't go too much into detail because it's just my stance on it. I don't think it's good to encourage people to do things that they shouldn't do, but I will touch on it a bit because I can now. So yeah, basically I'm going to talk you through it all. I'll put my diet up, show you what I'm eating. Anyway, I'm going to show you a bit of my session and then talk about it when I get back. Okay, so that was my 5th session since I've been back from World's Strongest Man and getting married as well. I have been completely off the rails, I'm not going to lie. My training since I tore my lat has been very inconsistent, and even when I have trained, it's not been good quality training. I've been going through the motions, plodding, cutting every session short, not really pushing very hard. I mean, some of it has been pain related. My knee's been extremely sore and I have had a lot of problems with my shoulder since I tore my lat. But probably for about the last 2 months, it's basically been down to me being not in the right frame of mind. So I hope that some of you can sort of take some positive from that you're not alone. Even people like myself who have been sort of professional athletes in the past and have sort of achieved some pretty decent things over the years, we all go through it. So don't think that you're alone. And obviously, if there's anything that you want to ask when it comes to that side of things, I'm more than happy to respond to the comments if you need a bit of advice when it comes to sort of motivation and things like that. I personally just find that sticking with something that's very structured works well for me. Doing the whole sort of wishy-washy, just training when I can and eating whatever diet I can doesn't work for me. I need the structure. A lot of people talk about balance in life, and for me, it doesn't work. I'm either all in or not at all. That's just the way I am as a person. So I have to sort of accept that. Which leads me on to the next bit, the diet. So I have written out my diet. I will be tracking my food on my app, www.thstrong.com. It enables you to have a meal plan that you can follow, or you can set out your own one and input your own foods if you do want balance, or if you want to eat things that are not on the meal plan. It's got a new feature on it, which is like an AI thing where you basically just put in the foods that you're having, the weights that you're eating, and it calculates all the macros and everything. So it's not like you have to like select different ingredients. You can literally type in, well, I'll show you just next to me, where mine I'm having 305 grams of chicken thighs, rice and salad, and then you just literally press a button and it calculates all the macros and everything, and then it generates a meal that you can go back to when you want. So I find for me, the best way for me to diet is to be extremely strict. So I can't really go off the rails at all. So I'll pop my diet up there now, what I'm currently doing. For me, I will literally eat the same thing every day. That way I'm very prepared. I've got all my food ready. I don't have to think about it. So I don't like the whole macro tracking thing personally. I know it's great for some people because they like the variety. Whereas when I'm trying to get myself in shape, I prefer to just be 100% focused and not allow myself the odd treat. I feel like I get much better results if I just have a meal plan, stick with it for a week, and if it works, then stay with it. If it needs a bit of adjustment, then I'll adjust the weights of the food. Just that way, and I eat the same thing for every meal as well, just because I've always got it there prepared. So I'll bulk cook it all and then I just weigh it out as I go. That just works well for me. So obviously we're all different and some people like the odd treat, but what I tend to do is stick to a strict plan. And then when I feel like I'm starting to struggle, I'll have a meal out, or I'll go and, maybe have a Nando's, or go and have a steak or something like that. So I don't go completely off the rails when I'm dieting. Like I'll still stick to like similar-ish foods. So if I went and had a steak, it would be like a fillet steak, and I might have chips instead of rice. Or if I'm having a Nando's, it would be like some sort of chicken breast or chicken thigh with rice, and maybe have the chips, but maybe not. So yeah, I tend to try and stick to the same foods, but I just sort of, it's not as strict. That just, I feel, works best for me. So yeah, I'm going to be tracking all my workouts, my food, everything on my app, just because I feel like I need something there to monitor it, and obviously that's an easy way to do it. It's got programs on there for all different options, so I will be following that. Yeah, in terms of diet at the moment, obviously I just posted it up there. It's quite extreme, but the reason I'm sort of gone extreme is so that I can see what happens, and then I've sort of kind of make adjustments from there. And also what I didn't put on the meal plan is I do have a pre-workout meal of 4 rice cakes with a bit of peanut butter on. So that's only on training days. So on non-training days, I don't have it. So yeah, that works for me. My training plan is a 6-day plan, which I basically will roll that along. So I'll work my way through those 6 workouts. So if I'm away doing a shoot for Bad Rhino, which happens quite often sometimes. If I'm away a day doing that and I'm meant to be training on that day, then I just roll the session onto the next one. So it's not 6 sessions in a week. I just work my way through those 6 sessions and then start again. Sometimes it takes 8 days because I'll do 3 days, rest day, 3 days. But then sometimes where things come up, it takes, could be as much as 10, 11 days to get through those 6 workouts. So I just do roll with the punches a little bit with my other obligations. But yeah, I think that's about it. So in terms of other things that I'm doing, so I am running very moderate doses of performance enhancement. I don't like to go into too much detail, but basically a small amount of testosterone and a small amount of primobolan. That's just to get my estrogen under control. I have started using yohimbine first thing in the morning, which is a fat burner, but I find that it works pretty well for me. It's kind of a little bit of a grey area, that one. It's kind of over the counter. You can get it online. There are some shops that sell it, but they're not, it's a bit of a grey area. But it does work very well, especially doing like fasted stuff in the morning. So if you take them before you do fasted stuff, gives you a bit of an energy boost and also gets things moving. So it gives you the energy to get through the session on low food, which then obviously your body will need to find the energy from somewhere. So it will burn fat or help you burn fat while you're doing activity. I'm also implementing berberine, so I'm doing berberine with every single meal. So I'm doing 1,000 micrograms per carb meal. So the reason I'm doing the berberine is because I've sort of basically become very insulin resistant. So my body was not responding very well before I went to World's Strongest Man to dieting. I was holding a lot of fat on my lower back, which is a very telltale sign of being insulin resistant, which basically makes it very difficult to lose weight when you're in that position. So I'm hoping that the berberine will help with that. It just basically helps get the carbs moving to where they need to be and gets everything moving around and increases your insulin sensitivity, so you respond better to the diet. Sometimes when you're insulin resistant, even if you like very low on food, you get to a point where your body just does not want to shift any fat. So you do need to sort of take action to change that. And there are ways, obviously, you can do it. You could do a few days of low carbs, but I don't like to do that. You can do a fast for a couple of days, another way some people deal with it. But again, I don't like to do that. I struggle to even go through the night without eating. So I do suffer with like quite a lot of hunger. So the berberine seems like a good option. And so far since I've been back, I was, like I said at the beginning of the video, I was 160 when I landed back from America. This morning I was 151. Now, I've only been back a week, but obviously there was some water retention issues from the flight. But I am 9 kilos down already, and I can start to see my body changing a little bit, which is good. I mean, I think that pretty much covers everything. I'm doing a push-pull lower split, but there's 2 versions of that. I will post that up in the next video at some point. I suppose the big take out of this video is my motivation's been like so non-existent that I was very down after I tore my lat. I felt like I was getting some strength back and things were moving really well. My body was in pretty good condition all round. And then, obviously to get hit with an injury like that, and then my knee's starting to become very troublesome as well. It's been a tough time, I'm not going to lie. But I also realise that sometimes you've got to take stock of where your head's at and take action. You've got to be accountable to yourself sometimes. I could carry on just sort of plodding through and making excuses, but I've basically been doing that for the last 5 months. Oh, I've got a torn lat. Oh, my knee's hurting. These are all things that we go through. Everyone goes through injuries, aches and pains, things like that. And sometimes you've got to literally draw a line under it and go, look, I need to stop being a whiny bitch and making excuses for myself and just get on with it. And yes, it's going to be tough. And yes, there's going to be days where you feel a bit uncomfortable. And yes, there's going to be days where it's frustrating that you've got to train around niggles. But I pride myself on training around things and finding a way to do it. And I've not been doing that. So that's all on me. That's my fault. I can sit there and whine about the injuries forever, but it's not going to change the fact that they've happened. And the only way I'm going to get myself back on track is to dust myself off and get on with it. So that is where I'm at right now. Like I said, I'll be tracking the training and diet through my app. It has got some massive upgrades on there. That now in the community group, you can post videos, which obviously I'll be going on and reviewing. So if people want a sort of technique advice, which is something that you don't really generally get from low cost coaching, like my app is. And then on top of that, it's got the AI thing that I talked a little bit about. It's got a few other things coming. I'm also going to be doing a monthly Q&A with the members as well, which is something I've not done before. And obviously when we're talking about £19.99 for a diet plan, training plan, and then now you'll also get responses from me in the community group and the other members as well. It's a pretty good deal. So there's lots of videos on there for educational information as well to help you on your journey. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously it's not as extreme as full coaching, but then it's price reflected. My full coaching is a lot more expensive than that, where you get to message me on a day-to-day basis and everything as well. And everything's very like personalized in terms of the training plans. Whereas with the app, it's more selecting a program that works for you. You will get varying exercises and variety, but it's not as personalized for you. A lot of it's going to be down to you selecting the options and then it building the plan around that. So anyway, yeah, hopefully some of you will come on the journey with me. I suppose actually something I didn't talk about was I obviously knew I was out of shape and I knew that things were bad. I had some videos posted to me from Bad Rhino from when I did the shoot over in Ibiza a couple of months ago, where it was a summer shoot. So obviously a lot of it's like swimming trunks and things like that. And as soon as I saw the video posted, I was like, oh my God, I look terrible. I'll just pop it there for you to have a look. And there's a couple of pictures as well. Not my best look, I will admit. And obviously I know that. I know that I'm not in shape. I know I've not been able to train properly for months. Partly some of that's been due to where my head's been at, but also physically I've struggled. And I've been off of the track with my diet and everything as well. So I didn't look my best. The only thing I will say is there was a load of nasty comments on it from a couple of people, which I thought was uncalled for. And maybe need to get par on the case with it. There's, oh, Terry's let himself go and things like that, which I'm like, it's not that I've let myself go. I've just been in a bad headspace and physically been in a bad place. I wasn't able to train. And I think that some people should have a little think about what they post before they do, because, you know, at the end of the day, no one knows what anyone's going through. I've been in a pretty tough spot with my mindset. Physically, I've been in a tough spot as well. So, you know, that's why I sort of wasn't in shape, and that's why I did look as sloppy as I did. I think the problem is, unfortunately, when you have been in great shape like I have been when I've got on stage, and that's not what I'm planning to get back to. I just want to be fit and healthy and a bit leaner than I am now. But when you have been like that, there's a lot of these idiots out there that are quick to want to go, you know, don't look so good now. And obviously it's just a bit of a wanker mentality, but there are people out there like that. They want to see people fail, whereas I'm all about wanting to see people succeed. So if anyone is going through these same problems that I am, mentally struggling with injuries, always pop in the comments. I'll try my best to respond to every comment for any of you that do follow me. You'll know that I'm very active with responding to people, because that's part of what this is all about. I was given a gift that put me in the public eye a little bit, although I never got into it to be famous or anything like that. That's not why I did Strongman. I did it because I loved it. It wasn't about money, it wasn't about fame, it never has been. But I do have a minuscule amount of fame, so if I can use that for good to help other people have a better life in some way, then that's exactly what I want to do. So if I can help any of you, or you need any advice, or you're struggling a bit with things, then please pop it in the comments and I will respond to you. And if you don't want to put it out there publicly, you can always message me on Instagram or Facebook or any of those platforms, and I will get back to you at some point. So I'm all about positive energy and helping people, and hopefully you'll see me turn my shit around, and that'll give you some inspiration to do the same. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you soon, and it'll always get better. No matter how rough things get, they always get better.